Clicker. Okay. Hello, Labin. Hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for having me here. First of all, I want to thank the organizers. They did an amazing job once more time in this year, and thanks for the whole bunch of hard-working people that made this conference possible. Okay, my name is Mario. I currently work in Bornfight as a head of design. Sorry about that. I'm a traveler. I really like to travel. I use that time to reflect, think, use it privately, use it for business. I really like to travel, and so far I'm really happy that I have opportunity to travel as much as often, even to come here in Lebanon and enjoy myself. I'm a dog owner, a proud owner of Shih Tzu. He's a really funny guy. He comes with me when I work, so he's helping me with my everyday challenges and everyday tasks. I'm also a mentor. I like to spread some ideas, share some of my experience every time when I have an opportunity. So I use this time to maybe share some ideas that I have, discuss on some different directions and so on. I also lead a design team, a team of 11 designers in agency called Bornfight. Bornfight is a part group agency that is consists of 70 like-minded individuals that are very passionate about creating progress through determination and hard work. We use strategy, design, and development to build websites, mobile apps, and custom software. Here is like a quick rundown of the things that we done together with our clients, partnering on different types of projects during the last few years. You can see the types of projects that I mentioned before, from the mobile apps, custom software, and branding, websites, etc. Last year, we got nominated and won an Agency of the Year by user choice here in Amsterdam. So in Amsterdam this year early, and it was a very big privilege for us, and we were very proud for that and happy to receive this kind of award. That's a very was motivating thing for the whole team back in Zagreb for winning that award. My clicker is a little bit slower. Okay, so today's subject is how simple is that? Today, I will talk about notion of simplicity, how we as humans have a natural tendency of maybe complicating things. We complicate the ways how we work, we complicate our relationships, we complicate different parts of our everyday lives, and even though we are kind of complicated, we like things to be simple, useful, and very understandable for us. But still, as I said, we are humans, and it just sometimes goes in that direction. There's a good quote from Albert Einstein. Merlin, I think that he had one quote also from him, so he's a very popular guy eventually. Make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. Hopefully, I will share some ideas around simplicity and how we can use it to our advantage and what are the downfalls of it. Okay, so I will start with one short story about password. Actually, this happened yesterday while I was preparing my presentation. My wife asked me to purchase something online because she will not do it, I have to do it. And in the all chaos of the preparing the presentation and making my slides and everything, I had to take some time to figure out what I need to do and to make this purchase. And I have to say it was a pretty frustrating process, and I decided to cut the story that I had from before and include this one. So it was like an e-commerce site. I started to find the item that I want to purchase. Went in a cart, and I want to just to proceed to payment. But then the only solution to purchase this item was that I have to create an account. For this was really, really intrusive for me because I really, really wanted to finish just quickly as possible and continue working on my presentation. So I say, okay, for the purposes of the story, I didn't include the real client and just made the slides just to show how the process went. So when I came to the passwords field, I said, okay, there are no inputs for that, there are no hints what I have to do. I will type on my usual password or whatever, just to be quicker about it. So I enter the password, and then I get, okay, sorry, but password must contain at least 8 symbols. Okay, this wasn't communicated in advance, I'm losing my time. Okay, go back, I have to go back, retype 8 symbols. And then I got this, sorry, but your password must contain at least 1 uppercase letter. I was becoming frustrating, and I said, okay, let's do it one more time. And then, sorry, but your password must contain at least 1 number, and over and over. And I was like really, really going mad and thinking about it. How can maybe I can find this item somewhere else, but eventually I didn't have time to search for it, and this was like a really important thing to finish today. So I said, okay, I will take some more time. I think this tweet very nicely shows what we have to do when entering the passwords. So I said, okay, probably you need to enter a bunch of things and put all of the random numbers, and a very interesting thing happened. Okay, we have the password, and then this message came. Okay, your password is not secure enough. Try to avoid simple passwords. And I was like, okay. In the end, I managed to do it, but I was super, super, super frustrated. We live in a time when we have fingerprint sensors and cameras that ID our faces. Why, we are still punching in signs of text into our laptops? And I was thinking, okay, I was frustrated, lost some time, lost some focus, that is mostly important. And then I remember, okay, 34 people will quit checkout just because they are asked to register. So we are complicating things and losing money in the end. What about the physical things? Let's move from the digital space to the physical things. I have to say, here we are also not very good at sometimes solving simple problems for the users and how to use it. I would say, okay, we can blame it to the users, we are fine, just doing our jobs, it's user's fault. But in the end, it's kind of shitty situation, and we have to deal with it in some certain way. Who knows the story printer knows you're in a hurry and he will give you time of your life? They are actually quite smart devices, talking about smart devices, and they really, really know what you're feeling, and I think that they are like pioneers of artificial intelligence. They're like really mean and really with bad attitude. Is there a hope regarding all of these things? Yes, probably yes. Few weeks ago, I was in New York City and had this opportunity to test some different ways of purchasing tickets and how it works, and some new things that they included on some of the stations that I'll cover in the later story. So we're gonna look at how the flow of purchasing tickets went. So I need to buy a single ride ticket on New York subway metro. First, I have to go start, and then I have to select a language, that's English, and then I want to buy a single ride just for quick go, getaway, don't need too much information. After that, I need to select my payment method. I will select credit card because it's much convenient in this way. Then you have to dip your card, put it out, just to be scanned. And then, interestingly, you have to enter your zip code. So I entered my zip code from Zagreb, why not? After that, you get the recipient or asked if you want one. And then finally you can get a metro card and everything is perfect or not. You swipe it. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it works. So what would be a simpler way to doing these kind of things? Contactless payment. This is a really new thing in New York, like a few months ago. They put out the testing mechanisms, and I tried it, and it was like this. You verify your identity by using ID recognition face, or just double-click if you have a Apple Wallet or Google Pay, and you touch the screen, and you are good to go. So it is super easy. So if you compare how simpler that is, so we have like 8 steps of doing things, or just 2 of those. With the watch, it's even simpler. You can adjust your watch with a credit card you want to use, and you just go through it by just holding in near proximity. So I would say this is only one touch point, and it's quite easy to just go. These kind of things already existed in the UK, but in New York, this is a kind of new stuff. Only one. What about the digital products? How are we at those? So, reality of digital products and how we present information to our users is like this. This is on mobile experience to see all of those very interesting cookie policy data and signups, download apps and everything. And in the end, we are providing very shitty experience for the users still in 2019. Okay, let's go for one example of a remote control. The idea here is we have a remote control. It has a lot of function, a lot of things, and we want to simplify it. The good strategy is to think of your grandma. So she will probably use it. Let's say she is your target audience. You want to simplify your remote. And the easiest ways for the grandma to do it is like this. Just give her a bare essentials. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. Some of the strategies that we can use or ideas of thinking for simplicity when we are tackling digital products, we can take, like for example, removing the unnecessary content, organizing in different areas, just to be clear, hiding some parts that are not so critical for the usage, or even displacing them or making them visible on somewhere else. This same methodology or strategy, you could call it, we can use for building our websites, mobile apps, or handling a really, really lot of content. But it's not just about simplicity. We know it's about functionality, clarity, reliability, ease of use, a lot of these things. If we look at the hierarchy of needs for the humans, psychological things, safety, life and belonging, partnership, esteem, and self-actualization, and compare it for the, let's say, hierarchy of needs for the users or for one kind of a app that needs to be, let's say, functional, reliable, usable, convenient, and in the end, pleasurable. I think most of the people rely to the usable part, and usable means, okay, it's okay to use. Convenient maybe means, okay, it's easy to use. Now we are talking about maybe combination somewhere about simplicity. How does this work? Historically, usability has been a cornerstone of interface design. If you can make a usable interface, you're doing well in our industry. That's a bit disappointing, right? If this is all it takes. Just imagine if we have this way of thinking for applied to different industries. We should go beyond. How to go beyond? What is beyond? What about aesthetics? Okay. So often we hear this. It would be nice to have a really good-looking interface, but people care more about what the site does than how it looks. We can apply the same way of thinking about a person who is going on an interview job. He's working, he has skills, but he will not come there in wearing, I don't know, shorts or pajama. So there's also one more thing about it. The static usability effect. There's a really good study on Norman Nielsen group that talk about it. Basically, people perceive the products that are designed well or visually appealing that are working better. So this is something good to check out. Yeah? Smart guy. But now imagine an interface that could help you complete a critical task and put a smile on your face at the same time. So these are something that we are trying to maybe push beyond the basics of usability, simplicity, and reliability. Many websites and apps are redrawing the hierarchy of needs by creating better experiences using pleasure and joy. Okay, what does that mean? How we can use that? Emotions. One thing that is common for all of our people, like humans, we have ability to emote. We can feel and we can share emotions. That really separates us from all of other species. We can use surprise, delight, and anticipation, something that we can trigger users. But yes, these are all very nice words, but what does it mean? How can we apply it to our everyday work? I think it's important to keep in mind that needs or your tactics need to be appropriate to the target group you are really actually designing for, or a brand experience that needs to communicate in a certain way. In the end, simplicity is a part of a much bigger equation. It's not just about simplicity. Sometimes it's overused. Sometimes it's considered that it's a minimalism. These are totally different things. But in the end, simplicity is very important, but it's not at all. There's a lot of other things that we have to consider. So I would leave you with this final thought. Next time you build an interface, try to think about all of the parts of the complex human nature. As I mentioned, we are very complex human beings, and we have a tendency to overcomplicate things, even that they are potentially simple in the beginning. That's how we roll. Thank you so much. Any questions, maybe? Yes? No? No questions? Okay. If you have any questions, if you are interested, if you want to discuss more, we have a lounge there at Bornfight. So come there, ask us whatever you want to discuss. And if you are interested in anything, any topic, just come there and see you there. Thank you so much again.